Hola chicos, soy Anto y en este video estamos en un lugar diferente porque estoy con Sophie Jordan. I'm here with Sophie Jordan. Say hi.
Hi everybody.
Perdonen si pronuncio mal o algo, formulo mal la pregunta, pero bueno chicos, no importa, discúlpenme, es así la cosa. She's going to answer a few questions. What inspired you to start writing and how long ago?
I probably started writing after I fell in love with reading. And that for me was like when I was in middle school, like 13. So I wasn't one of those people who came into reading like I learned to walk and then I grabbed a book. It came later in life for me, but I didn't think I could make a career out of it for a long time. So I was wanting to write from 13 to 18. Then I went to college, I went to school, got a job, and got married, and had a family, and then I had a baby. And suddenly I decided that I was going to make this work somehow. I was at least going to try to do it, and I had never finished a whole book. I'd started a lot of books, so I just decided I was going to finish a book.
What do you think about love? Because in Firelight we have love, and what is writing about it?
For me, the reason there's always a romance and there's a love story at the heart of everything is because that's the hope that's going on. You know, I write these stories where there's high stakes. Usually the fear is death, or the world could be destroyed, or the world is dying. Otherwise, you're just reading a horror novel, which is okay if that's what you know. But you know, when when you pick up Sophie Jordan, there could be those elements of a horror novel or a thriller, but there's going to be a romance, and somehow there'll be a happy ever after. Maybe there's sacrifices and there's some pain and cost along the way, but you're gonna get there.
What is your favorite character in Firelight and your book?
Well, the first book in Firelight itself was the first young adult novel I ever wrote, so it'll always hold
it's a
special spot. Yes.
Have you thought about writing a spin-off of some character?
I've thought about writing a fourth book, and it might be a spoiler.
I know.
But see, the whole world, there's so many secondary characters. For me, I feel like Jacinda's story it could go on, but I feel like Jacinda and Will are done. I'd rather, if there were to be another Firelight book, it would be following some other of the characters.
What do you have to say about your new book?
Came up with that idea for Reign of Shadows really because I think I'd opened up some fan mail for Firelight. I was working on just like a contemporary young adult novel idea. And I put it aside after I read it, and it just reminded me of like the yearning, writing a big epic story. So I just started thinking about all those things that I love. And I think as a writer, you have to do this every once in a while. Like, I've always been fascinated with the world of darkness, but it's basically the world is a dying world. And then they have monsters and then humans. It just has, it feels kind of medieval. And I grew up reading a lot of historical fiction. As a reader, I think Will, but I understand Cassian, and I understand the appeal for him. I meet people like you all the time.
Y bueno, esta ha sido la entrevista por hoy. Espero que les haya gustado. Les pido de vuelta disculpas por el inglés y todo eso, pero es lo que hay. Abajo en los comentarios quiero que me digan qué les pareció las respuestas de Sophie. Y nada, nice to meet you.
You too.
Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.